All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little, and we are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Patriot Championship Wrestling. As we say good evening to Bear805 and Neil Lau in line at the chat room first and foremost. And it is good to see you fellas. Off to a late start today. Was out and about a good bit today. Made a trip over to Milwaukee to have lunch with my son, and got back and finally got things together for some Heartland Championship Wrestling. It is the month of September, and that means the Filsinger Cup tournaments are in full effect. In fact, got those started the past week, and we've got two exciting Filsinger Cup tournament matches tonight, as well as two championship matches. Our main event will be superstar Billy Graham defending the Patriot Heavyweight Championship against Johnny Valentine. A battle of wits between the Grand Wizard and J.J. Dillon, and that one should be a slobber knocker in our main event. Before we came to air, the show started off with a serious upset as Bryan Danielson went down to defeat at the hands of Angelo Mosca with the sleeper hold. The power of Angelo Mosca just overcame everything that Danielson could throw at him. Another upset followed in Filsinger Cup action in a terrific match as Jerry Lynn got the best of ravishing Rick Rude, and Lynn pins Rude with the cradle pile driver to move forward in the Filsinger Cup tournament. Also in Filsinger Cup tournament action, it was the tag team of Jack and Jerry Briscoe moving on as Jack and Jerry Briscoe defeated the team of Magnum TA and Brad Armstrong when Jack forced Brad to submit to the figure four. And just before we came to air, a wild match in the Filsinger Cup as Sergeant Slaughter got the win over Bobo Brazil using the Cobra Clutch, but not before Slaughter put Bobo Brazil through a ringside table with a power slam. So a not totally expected display of aggression from Sergeant Slaughter in his path to defeat over Bobo Brazil to move on in the Filsinger Cup tournaments. But when it is Filsinger Cup time, all is fair and everything goes. Of course, the Filsinger Cup tournaments will culminate on October 5th here on pay-per-view as we will present Tournament of Champions 2024 from Dallas. And that's when the Filsinger Cups will be awarded, but lots of action to take place between now and October 5th when we see that spectacular show. As Jim Lawrence, a.k.a. Referee James Lawrence III, is with us along with Carl Zilla. Hello to both of you. And yeah, do you guys like it better when we come on later at night? Usually I try to hit it around 6 p.m. Central Time. But we could conceivably go later if folks like it better. I kind of like getting it done earlier in the day, but if the fans want to have this later in the evening, we will make it happen. All right, our first it is time now for our first televised matchup of the evening. Assuming I can find my my card stack. I have lost my... here they are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules are in effect for this one. This is a long-standing Patriot Championship Wrestling rivalry, but this is a Filsinger Cup tournament match. So these two longtime rivals are going to square off here in the Filsinger Cup tournament to renew their rivalry. Introducing first, out of Louisville, Kentucky, he stands at 5'10" and weighs 236 pounds. This is Ed Strangler Lewis. And his opponent is accompanied to the ring by Percy Pringle III, out of the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. He stands at 6'5", weighs 452 pounds. This is Big Van Vader. So Vader, of course, a very popular wrestler in these parts, part of the band, aka bagpipes, body slams, and beatboxing. Vader, the lead vocalist for that legendary quartet of would-be musicians. But Vader is here tonight for one reason and one reason only, and that is the Filsinger Cup tournament as he squares off against Ed Strangler Lewis in what should be a barn burner. And the opening initiative roll is tied, and that means we go straight to shenanigans. What kind of shenanigans is Vader going to be up to against his rival? We soon shall see. And on the roll of 3-2 is the wrestler quick. The quicker man in this match is Strangler Lewis, and so it is Lewis who gets the first shot in on a direct hit against Vader, and Lewis will start the match off with the advantage after that opening tie-up. And now it is Lewis who goes with the double wrist lock, attempting the submission hold already. And that's going to be his game plan, is to get this big man down. Vader not down quite yet as... now Lewis gets him down with the double wrist lock. Going to attempt a submission hold early in the match. He can submit him on snake eyes, but on a roll of 6, Vader able to get free from the double wrist lock. But Lewis already quickly in control. And now he is going to go for a step over toe hold. This is a choice F maneuver, choice F. So he will need a roll of 7 or lower to complete that. And on a roll of 3, he does get the step over toe hold locked in. But Vader able to come up with the reversal, powering his way out of that. Vader gets to his feet and pow! A front body slam onto Ed Lewis, and Lewis is hurt. Derek Bauman joins us in the chat room. And Vader on the assault with another big front slam, exerting his power over Strangler Lewis. Vader now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Ed Lewis, and on a roll of 7, it is a big shoulder tackle that Vader hits on Lewis that takes Lewis down to the mat. Vader's going to follow that up with a big boot to the face. Big size 13 to the side of the head of Lewis, and Lewis is staggered. Vader with another big boot to the face. Lewis gets to his feet. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Vader hammering away with a forearm assault on Lewis, backing Lewis into the corner. Those big meat hooks pounding away, and now a running body avalanche by Vader, slamming Lewis into the corner. Lewis will still not go down as Vader stays on the offensive. Another whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Lewis. And this time on a roll of 5, it is Lewis who comes off the ropes with a flying forearm and stuns Vader. Lewis now on the offensive with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Vader, and on a roll of 10, it is both men hitting their big specialty moves, and it is Lewis with the better turnbuckle rating who takes control. Lewis caught that big takedown off of the turnbuckle. He now is in control, and Lewis goes to the headlock. The Strangler's headlock applied. The submission roll is 3. And on a roll of 9, Vader is able to endure the headlock. We'll see if Lewis can maintain the headlock, and indeed he does. The submission roll now is a 4. And Vader still able to survive. Up to 3 points of fatigue now, so it's time for Percy Pringle III to do something. And on a roll of 5, Percy Pringle 3 pulls the referee out of the ring. Roll disqualification 5. We may have a disqualification here. Indeed we do. As Strangler Lewis got Vader into the Strangler's headlock and would not let go. And Percy Pringle manages to get himself disqualified by interfering with the referee as Vader unable to escape from the Strangler's headlock. So Ed Strangler Lewis is your victor tonight by disqualification, and he moves on in the Filsinger Cup tournament. So good match for Ed Strangler Lewis. As Percy Pringle III saw that his man could not get out of the Strangler's headlock, took matters into his own hands, but got himself disqualified and his man disqualified in the process. So VADER lives to fight another day, but Lewis moves on in the tournament. As we say hello to, let's see, Derek Bauman came in, not the win Lewis wanted, but a win nonetheless. And yeah, in the Filsinger Cup tournament, it is all about winning and nothing else. And now we're going to see another classic historic matchup in the Filsinger Cup tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules are in effect. This is a first round match in the Filsinger Cup tournament. Introducing first out of St. Louis, Missouri, he stands at 6'2", weighs 238 pounds. This is Lou THESZ. And his opponent comes to you from Kansas City, Missouri. Standing at 6'1", weighing 268 pounds, this is Harley Race. So Harley Race and Lou THESZ, a couple of Missouri natives and a couple of the outstanding grapplers in the history of wrestling. Set to square off here in New York City in an opening round matchup of the Filsinger Cup tournament. And it is Harley Race who wins the opening initiative role. And it is Race who comes out with a knee to the gut. He does have the power advantage here. And so that doubles over Lou THESZ. THESZ, of course, the more agile of the two wrestlers. Race stays on him. He's got him down and goes for the Indian Deathlock, attempting to weaken Lou THESZ. THESZ able to make it to the ropes and slowly get back to his feet, but Harley stays on him with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Lou THESZ, and on a roll of 6, it is THESZ lifting a knee to the head of Harley Race and stunning Harley. THESZ now on the offensive, and THESZ is also going to go back to the whip to the turnbuckle. Harley Race comes off the turnbuckle, and oh, it is Harley Race this time, lifting a knee to the head of Lou THESZ. Back and forth we go, as Kamala joins us at ringside. Harley Race now back on the offensive, and it is Race going for a forearm slug. He needs a roll of 7 or lower to hit the forearm slug. THESZ able to reverse that, and it is THESZ who comes back with yet another whip to the turnbuckle. Race coming off the turnbuckle, and oh, on a roll of 11, it is Race bouncing off the turnbuckle, and THESZ nailing Harley Race with an incredible neck-breaking clothesline. Harley Race is down. Lou THESZ now on the offensive and going for a step over toe hold face lock. This is the same move he used to defeat Dusty Rhodes to win the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship on our last broadcast. And now it is going to be Harley Race rolling out of the ring and down to the arena floor. This is to the advantage of Race, but on a roll of 8, it is Lou THESZ winning the brawl on the arena floor with an Irish whip into the ring steps. Race careening into those ring steps, and he is hurt. THESZ now back in control, and he is going to take the action back into the ring, where THESZ is going to pelt Harley Race with a series of drop kicks. Race staggering back against the ropes. THESZ stays on him. He's going to attempt a hammerlock. This is a choice C maneuver. Choice C. He will need 7 or lower to complete the hammerlock, and on a roll of 8, Harley Race powers his way out of the hammerlock, and it is Race with a big headbutt. THESZ going to fire back. THESZ with another whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Harley Race, and on a roll of 6, it is Race who grabs the arm of THESZ and reverses that whip. Here comes THESZ off the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 4, Harley Race charges into the turnbuckle and misses. Race crashes into the turnbuckle hard and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Out to the arena floor we go again, and this time on a roll of 11. That is going to be a win for THESZ with a body slam onto the arena floor. We may, however, see THESZ disqualified. We will not. Action will continue as the referee decides to let the match go on. Back into the ring, and here is THESZ with another series of drop kicks that puts Harley Race back on the defensive. THESZ keeps on the pressure, continuing to hit Race with those drop kicks. Race will not go down. And now it is THESZ going to try that hammerlock again. And again, Race powers his way out of the hammerlock. And it is Race with a whip to the turnbuckle. Lots of turnbuckle action in this one. And on a roll of 5, it is THESZ coming off of the turnbuckle and nailing a skull-splitting running lariat on Harley Race. And Harley Race is stunned once again. THESZ stays on him. Double wrist lock, trying for the submission here on a roll of snake eyes. But on a roll of 5, it is Race who is able to withstand the double wrist lock. THESZ in control, and THESZ now going to the Greco-Roman backdrop. This is a +2 finisher. The pin roll here will be 5 or lower, and on a roll of 9, Harley Race able to kick out, but Race in trouble here. THESZ, very dangerous card. He's got double finishers, and both of them are +2. And that is formidable indeed. And now THESZ is going to go for a release power bomb. This is a choice D maneuver. Choice D, he will need 7 or lower to hit this. And on a roll of 4, he hits the release power bomb. And Harley Race is slow getting to his feet. THESZ stays on him. Another whip to the turnbuckle. Race coming off the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 7, it's a big kick from THESZ that stuns Harley Race. And THESZ now goes back to those drop kicks. And Race again will not go down. THESZ stays on him, another whip to the turnbuckle. Race comes off the turnbuckle, and oh, this time an incredible neck-breaking clothesline delivered by THESZ that puts Race down. Race is down. THESZ now going for Race trying to get out of the ring. THESZ ain't going to let that happen. And instead, THESZ with a double leg pickup and a slam, putting Harley Race back down on the canvas. THESZ maintaining the offensive, another whip to the turnbuckle. Race comes off the buckle and grabs the arm of THESZ for the reversal. Now it's THESZ coming off the turnbuckle, and Harley Race hits him with a big kick. Finally, Race gets back on the offense. And Race now is going to go for a forearm slug on 7 or lower. He hits the forearm slug. And THESZ is dazed. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Race with a knee to the gut. THESZ will not go down. Race with another knee to the gut. THESZ fires back, and THESZ catches Race in a side headlock. Race counters that with a swinging neck breaker and dumps THESZ down to the canvas. THESZ has a reversal mechanic, but is not able to hit that. He needs 10 to 12 to hit his reversal mechanic. So Harley Race maintains the offensive and goes back once again, believe it or not, another whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes THESZ, and he lifts a knee to the head of Harley Race. THESZ back on the offensive with an airplane spin. Around and down to the canvas goes Harley, getting back to his feet. A double leg pickup and slam, and Harley Race reverses that. And it is Race coming back, believe it or not, another whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes THESZ, and this time it is a double big specialty move by both men. THESZ, with the better turnbuckle rating, takes over. THESZ on the offensive, and he goes back to the Greco-Roman backdrop. The pin roll now 6 or lower, and on a roll of 7, Harley Race just got his foot over the bottom rope. The match will continue. 2 3/4 before Race was able to get his foot over the bottom rope. THESZ still in control. Another Greco-Roman backdrop. The pin roll now is 7 or lower, and on a roll of 5, he got him. So THESZ gets the victory, hard-fought victory over Harley Race by way of the Greco-Roman backdrop. He had to hit it 3 times, but finally he got him down. And THESZ, who has been on a hot streak, he won the Atlantic Heavyweight Championship the last time we saw him, and now he moves on to the Filsinger Cup tournament, to the round of 16. Goes THESZ. We started off with a total of 27, and we will pare it down to 16 on Wednesday and go then to the quarterfinal matchups. All right. We are done with Filsinger Cup action for tonight. We still have 2 great championship matches here in Patriot Championship Wrestling for you, as Jay Randus joins us in the chat room, and Kamala as well. I believe I said hello to Kamala once already. We'll say hello again. Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. This is for the Patriot Tag Team Championship. And wow, if you've ever seen a slobber knocker, this is going to be a slobber knocker. Introducing first the challengers. First, from the Isle of Fiji, standing at an even 6 foot tall, weighing 250 pounds, this is Jimmy SNUKA. And his tag team partner comes to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He stands at 6'7", weighs 284 pounds. This is Bruiser Brody. So Bruiser Brody and Jimmy SNUKA, a heel tag team. Great success these two had together in Japan back in the day. And they have teamed together successfully and earned a title match here in Patriot Championship Wrestling. But their opponents, coming to you from Sandy Fork, Delaware, at a total combined weight of 463 pounds, it is Jay and Mark, the Briscoe brothers. Dem boys here in our nation's capital, New York City, to defend the Patriot Championship, Tag Team Championship against Bruiser Brody and Jimmy SNUKA. This is going to be a slobber knocker of the highest magnitude. And it is going to be Jay Briscoe starting things off against Jimmy Superfly SNUKA in this matchup. I guess we wouldn't really call him Superfly because he's wrestling in his heel persona. And as they come together in the center of the ring, it is Jay Briscoe who wins the opening initiative role with a high press slam. That is a power move, and SNUKA has the power advantage. So SNUKA is able to avoid the high press slam. And SNUKA with a pile driver right away on Jay Briscoe. Briscoe is hurt. SNUKA stays on him. SNUKA with a big headbutt. And Jay Briscoe coming back together in the center of the ring with SNUKA. SNUKA grabs a headlock. Briscoe going to try and tag into Brother Mark, and he makes the tag. And in comes Mark Briscoe. We'll see if Mark Briscoe can do any better against Jimmy SNUKA. And he tries for a spinning slap. And he hits the spinning slap. Mark and Jimmy with the equal ratings on the agility roll. So Briscoe with a spinning slap stuns Jimmy SNUKA. Briscoe follows that up with a springboard cutter. They come back together in the center of the ring. And this time it is Briscoe going to try for a running clothesline on a roll of 7 or lower. On a roll of 8, SNUKA survives the running clothesline, and it is SNUKA who comes back with a leapfrog and a chop. That's going to cost Briscoe a point of fatigue as Jimmy SNUKA hits that chop. And now SNUKA is going to pitch Mark Briscoe out of the ring. These men are both A-rated performers on the arena floor. Excitement will ensue. And on a roll of 6, it is Mark Briscoe who wins the brawl on the arena floor and slams Jimmy SNUKA onto the announcer's table. Wow. SNUKA in trouble already against Mark Briscoe. They come back to the ring, and now it is going to be a finishing move. The dual super kicks executed by Mark and Jay Briscoe. That's a +1 finisher. The pin roll here will be 4 or lower, and on a roll of 8, SNUKA able to kick out. Jay Briscoe now the legal man in the ring. What's Jay going to do? Jay is going to pitch SNUKA out of the ring for more action on the arena floor. And this time it is Jay Briscoe winning the brawl on the arena floor. And it is Jay with a body slam onto the arena floor. Jimmy SNUKA taking all kinds of punishment here as they come back into the ring. And now in the ring it's a Jay Driller. Jay Driller by Jay Briscoe. This is a pin roll of 4 or lower. And on a roll of 12, SNUKA is able to kick out and kick out with authority. Here comes Mark Briscoe into the ring. Going to see some double teaming here. And on a roll of 6, it is a bone-crunching double clothesline executed by Jay and Mark. Mark now the legal man in the ring. SNUKA still down. And Mark is going to go up for a, Shooting Star Press Choice H. We can either go Death Jump A, or we can go agility of 5 or lower. You got to go death jump A, even though there's risk involved, but Mark Briscoe never saw a risk that he wasn't willing to risk. And on a roll of 11, it's the agility struggle. The agility is even, so SNUKA tries to intercept, and Mark Briscoe knocks SNUKA down off of the top turnbuckle. Briscoe still in control. And now Mark is going to go out of the ring yet again. More action on the arena floor. SNUKA on the arena floor on a roll of 6. It is SNUKA who wins the brawl on the arena floor and just throws Briscoe into the crowd. Will we see a disqualification here? We will not. As SNUKA comes back into the ring, Briscoe back into the ring just in time to beat the 10 count. SNUKA going to tag in Bruiser Brody. We'll see Bruiser in the match now for the first time. As Bruiser comes with a clothesline. That is a choice G maneuver, choice G. So he can either go for the death jump, or he can go, I believe, for the power move on a roll of 9 or lower. He's going to go for the power move. And on a roll of 9, he hits the clothesline. And he's going to go for a quick cover. The pin roll here, Snake Eyes. And on a roll of 4, Mark Briscoe able to kick out. But Bruiser Brody back on the offensive. And he is going to go with a big boot to the face. And again, Briscoe is going to hit the canvas and roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Out of the ring we go again. Will we see shenanigans here? No, we will not. Mark Briscoe out of the ring, and on a roll of 7, it is Brody who wins the brawl on the arena floor. And it is Brody who kicks a big boot to the face of Mark Briscoe, and Briscoe tumbles over the security railing once again. Mark Briscoe getting a few high fives from the fans, borrowing a water bottle, makes it back into the ring by the 10 count, refreshed and rehydrated and ready to go. But Bruiser Brody is there waiting with a jumping knee drop. That is a +3 finisher. The pin roll here, 6 or lower. Jay's got to attempt to save, and on a roll of 11, that is going to be a successful pin save, and in fact, it is going to be all 4 men in the ring for a wild brawl. Roll double disqualification 4. There will not be a double disqualification here, thank heavens. We go to the even odd roll. The Briscoes get the even roll, and on a roll of 1, it is Brody who wins the brawl. And Brody, who takes over on Mark Briscoe, again with a chance to do some damage here. A running leg drop, and Mark Briscoe stays down. Here comes SNUKA. They're going to try a double team. But on a roll of 11, that is a botched double team. Your partner holds the opponent, and you propel yourself off the ropes, but Mark Briscoe ducks away. Brody and SNUKA collide, and Mark Briscoe has the opportunity to take over on offense against Bruiser Brody. And it is Mark with a flying leg lariat. Brody is dazed. Mark going to tag in Brother Jay. Now we've got both the fresh men in the ring. As Jay on the offense, stomping away at Brody in the corner. Brody just laughing as Briscoe tries to stop him. And now it is more of these stomps, and Brody is going to get to his feet. And Brody is going to retaliate and just fling Jay Briscoe across the ring. Briscoe is down. Brody just had enough of that stomping, picked Jay Briscoe up and shoved him in sort of a border toss type maneuver. Brody now the legal man in the ring, and he is going to pitch Jay out to the arena floor. Out of the ring we go again. And on a roll of 7, it is Brody who wins the brawl on the arena floor with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. Jay Briscoe is down. Brody is back in control. Brody now going to go for that clothesline again. This time he will need a roll of 8 or lower to hit the clothesline. And on a roll of 7, he hits the clothesline. And Jay Briscoe going to try and tag out to Brother Mark. And on a roll of 6, the tag is successful. And Mark Briscoe is now back in the ring. Mark comes out with a karate chop. Bruiser Brody eats that. Will he make the tag? No. Briscoe stays on him now with an attempt at a vertical suplex. That's a power move. Brody, by far the more powerful man in the ring, is able to put that aside and is going to come back and attempt a kick to the knee on a roll of 8 or lower. The kick to the knee is successful. And Mark is going to try and tag back into Brother Jay, unable to get there. Brody back on the offense. And Brody now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Mark Briscoe, and on a roll of 6, it is Briscoe on the reversal. Whipping Brody across the ring to the opposite turnbuckle, and a big kick by Mark Briscoe stuns Bruiser Brody. Briscoe now back in charge, and they're going to hit a double flapjack, a double team move on Brody, and he is hurt. Jay now the legal man in the ring. Jay coming back with a super kick. Brody keeps his feet. What's Jay going to do now? He's going to try those stomps in the corner once again. Brody about due for a tag, but cannot get there. Jay stays on him, and a chop to the chest. Brody again not impressed. Brody fires back with a bruiser backbreaker. He's going to go for the cover on Jay Briscoe. The pin roll here is Snake Eyes, and on a roll of 7, Jay able to kick out. But Brody exerting his power here. And Brody is going to follow that up with a big pile driver. Another pin attempt. The pin roll here is 3. And on a roll of 4, Jay barely able to kick out. Now SNUKA comes in for a double team. And on a roll of 9, it is a running forearm smash. Delivered by Jimmy SNUKA, now the legal man in the ring for the challengers. SNUKA on Jay Briscoe with a pile driver. Again going for the cover. The pin roll now is 4. And on a roll of 8, Briscoe again able to kick out. He's in some trouble now, but they're going to save that last pin save attempt. As SNUKA stays in control, and now the Superfly Leap. The Superfly Leap. He misses on rolls of 11 or 12. And on a roll of 6, he hits the Superfly Leap. The pin roll now is 8 or lower. Mark is going to try and make the pin save. On a roll of 8, he is not able to make the save. We may see a pinfall here. And on a roll of 10, Jay able to kick out. I don't believe it. Jay Briscoe just kicked out of the Superfly Leap. Jimmy SNUKA is beside himself. SNUKA going to go up again for a second Superfly Leap. He'll miss on 11 or 12, and on a roll of 10, he hits the leap. Just barely. The pin roll now 9 or lower, and on a roll of 8, he got him. A very good match, but we have new Patriot Tag Team Champions. The team of Bruiser Brody and Jimmy SNUKA have won the Patriot Tag Team Championship here in New York City. As Jimmy Superfly SNUKA took 2 tries, but finally the Superfly Leap, and Jimmy SNUKA has pinned Jay Briscoe, and we have new champions here in New York City. So congratulations to the team of Bruiser Brody and Jimmy SNUKA, your new Patriot Tag Team Champions. All right, some new faces in the chat room. Mark Ferguson is here. Have I missed much? You're here just in time, Mark, for the main event. Kathy Evans, welcome to you too. As new tag team champions have been crowned, and it is time now for the main event of the evening. We just saw a slobber knocker. We have another slobber knocker in store for us in our main event. As we reset the fast action decks. Created by yours truly, and of course, designed and produced by none other than Carl Zilla, our honored guest here in the chat room tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is your main event of the evening. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This match is for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, accompanied to the ring by James J. Dillon. He stands at 6'4". He weighs 255 pounds, out of Seattle, Washington. This is Johnny Valentine. And his opponent is your reigning and defending Patriot Heavyweight Champion out of Paradise Valley, Arizona. He is accompanied to the ring by the Grand Wizard of Wrestling. He stands at 6'4". He weighs 275 pounds. This is superstar Billy Graham. So Billy Graham and Johnny Valentine, heel versus heel. And, I like heel versus heel matches. Just because two guys are heels doesn't mean they're necessarily always going to be friends. Especially when there's gold on the line. There is no honor among thieves. as Graham and Valentine stare each other down in the center of the ring. Both men standing at 6'4". Graham with about a 20-pound weight advantage. He will have the power advantage in this match. Johnny Valentine will have the agility advantage in this match. And of course, the presence of James J. Dillon and the Grand Wizard of Wrestling at ringside notwithstanding. Neither of these men actually has a manager card. Superstar Billy Graham, of course, is a bootleg. I don't remember if this was a Carlzilla. Is this one of your bootlegs or NGO? Maybe this is a Will Harrison bootleg. I do not know the answer to that, but the Grand Wizard is on the card, so he is in play. James J. Dillon, surprisingly, although he is a legit Legends of Wrestling signee, does not have a manager card. He simply has a wrestler card, and not a very good one at that. A 0 finisher and an 8.5 pin rating, and 3 down 3s on level 3 defense and a down 3 on level 2 defense. He's not much more than a jabroni. So I am surprised that there is no manager card for one James J. Dillon. Nah, Graham isn't mine, says Carlzilla. And Kamala is rooting for Johnny Valentine. Somewhere, our good buddy from my hometown of Columbus, Ohio, Kevin Butcher, I know, is rooting for Superstar Billy Graham. He is a Superstar Billy Graham mark of the highest magnitude. And here we go. It's main event time, and the opening initiative role is won by Johnny Valentine. And it is Valentine coming out with a knee lift. And the Superstar is hurt. Standing arm lock applied by Valentine, keeping Graham at bay with those huge arms. And now it is Valentine thought about a whip to the turnbuckle, thought better of it. He's going to roll up and instead attempt a body slam. That wasn't a very good idea. And in fact, Valentine has 2 power moves on level 1 offense. So I think he'll do the whip to the turnbuckle next time. In any event, Billy Graham able to reverse the attempted body slam. Graham takes over now on offense. And Graham right to the full Nelson. Wow. Full Nelson applied by Billy Graham. Valentine not going to give it up this early, but weakening his man as Graham stays on him and continues to apply that full Nelson. Graham trying to weaken Johnny Valentine in the early going. The full Nelson remains applied. 3 identical rolls in a row. And now it is a full Nelson and a submission attempt. Valentine with a pin rating of only 1, so we do not need to roll the submission attempt, but he does absorb a point of fatigue. And Graham now has the chance to do some more damage. And he is going to go for a top rope knee drop, and he nails the top rope knee drop. And Johnny Valentine stays down. And now it is out of the ring we go. Both these men, again, A-rated performers on the arena floor. And on a roll of 8, it is Superstar Billy Graham winning the brawl on the arena floor and slamming the head of Johnny Valentine into the ring apron. What did the ring apron ever do to deserve that? Valentine makes his way back into the ring, and he gets caught with another top rope knee drop by Billy Graham. Billy Graham remains in control. Graham now going for a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Johnny Valentine, and on a roll of 3. That is Billy Graham setting his head a second too soon. Valentine grabs him and dumps him with a DDT onto the canvas. Johnny Valentine now in control. And it is Valentine going to go up for a death jump. Death jump coming up here from Johnny Valentine. But on a roll of 4, it is Graham who gets to his feet and catches Valentine on the top turnbuckle and throws him down to the canvas. Graham back in charge here. And Graham now going with an over-the-shoulder backbreaker, weakening Johnny Valentine further. Graham stays on him. Full Nelson applied once again, trying to do damage to the neck and the upper body of Johnny Valentine. Graham stays on him now with a toss across the ring. And Valentine hits hard. Graham going to take a moment to flex. I don't know if that's his best idea here in this championship situation. But Graham now stays on the offense. Will he go for the whip to the turnbuckle on a turnbuckle rating of A? He will not. He will roll up, and he will hit a chokehold instead. Valentine able to withstand the chokehold. They come together in the center of the ring, and it is Valentine who attempts an arm drag and takes Graham down to the canvas. Both men getting to their feet. Valentine stays on him with a headlock. Valentine holding that headlock on Billy Graham. What's he going to do now? He's going to convert that into a reverse chin lock. Graham down to one knee as Valentine holds the reverse chin lock. And now it is Valentine with the whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Billy Graham, and on a roll of 10, it is a big kick by Johnny Valentine that stuns the champion. Valentine rolls with the now into the ropes. Off the ropes comes Billy Graham, and this time on a roll of 8, it is a running back elbow delivered by Johnny Valentine. Valentine keeps the momentum, and Valentine now with a big chop to the chest. Billy Graham stands his ground. Valentine now with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Billy Graham, and this time on a roll of 6, it is Graham lifting a knee to the head of Johnny Valentine, and Johnny Valentine now is stunned. Graham goes back to the offense with a knee smash to the back. Valentine gets to his feet. They come together in the center of the ring. Valentine tries for a back suplex. That's a power move. Billy Graham's having none of that, and instead it is Graham with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Valentine, and on a roll of 8, it is Billy Graham with a high back body drop. Valentine hits the canvas hard. Graham now with repeated kicks and stomps. Stomping a mud hole into Johnny Valentine. Valentine trying to get to his feet. Graham stays on him with a toss across the ring. And another flex, and this time Valentine able to get to his feet. And once again they come together in the center of the ring. Valentine takes a headlock, but Graham counters with a quick forearm shot to the ribs. Valentine stunned by that move, and now it is Billy Graham who is going to attempt a scoop slam. This is a choice D maneuver. Choice D, he will need 7 or lower to hit the scoop slam. And on a roll of 8, Valentine reverses the scoop slam, and it is Valentine who comes back with a big chop to the chest. And that is going to cost Billy Graham his first point of fatigue. These two have been going at it for a minute, and we've had no legitimate pinfall attempts yet, but both men have absorbed a point of fatigue. And now the Atomic Skull Crusher, the +1 finisher for Johnny Valentine. The pin roll here is 3 or lower, and on a roll of 7, Billy Graham able to survive. He survives the first Atomic Skull Crusher. What's Valentine going to do? He hits it again. Now it is a pin roll of 4, and on a roll of 5, Billy Graham just kicks out. And now we have got the Grand Wizard of Wrestling getting involved. At 3 points of fatigue, we look to the manager interference chart. We use the generic chart. And on a roll of 7, your manager distracts the opponent, who gets angry and chases your manager out of the ring. Meanwhile, you recover and leave the ring to get the opponent. The result is a brawl outside the ring, roll 1 die. Billy Graham will get the even roll here as they brawl on the arena floor. But on a roll of 1, it is Johnny Valentine who gets the best of the superstar on the arena floor. And it is Valentine who Irish whips Billy Graham into the ring steps. Valentine now back in control, and he goes back to the Atomic Skull Crusher. The pin rating now is 5 or lower, and on a roll of 8, Graham able to survive, but he has taken all kinds of punishment here. Johnny Valentine maintains control, and now the sleeper. The sleeper hold applied by Johnny Valentine. Graham powers his way back up to his feet, and Johnny Valentine now with a big forearm hammer that puts Graham back down on the canvas. Valentine in control, goes back to the Atomic Skull Crusher. The submission rating, or the pin rating, now 6 or lower. Grand Wizard's going to use his last distractor rating, and on a roll of 7, that is not successful. We may see the end of the match here on 6 or lower, but Graham is able to survive and continue. Johnny Valentine, relentless. And he goes back now to the sleeper hold again. He puts Graham back down on the canvas with the sleeper hold. And now it is Johnny Valentine pitching superstar Graham out of the ring. Down to the arena floor we go. And on a roll of 8, it is Valentine who wins the brawl on the arena floor and drops Billy Graham throat first onto the security railing. Johnny Valentine is back in control. James J. Dillon very happy at ringside as Valentine goes back to the Atomic Skull Crusher. It's a +1 finisher. The finishing roll now is 7 or lower, and on a roll of 5, he got him. And we have another new champion crowned here in New York City. Congratulations to Johnny Valentine, your new Patriot Heavyweight Champion. So both the Patriot Championships changing hands here tonight in New York City. As it took a lot of work for Valentine to hit that Atomic Skull Crusher multiple times before finally scoring the victory over superstar Billy Graham. He hit that son of a gun about 5 times before Graham gave it up, and finally Valentine comes away with the belt, and James J. Dillon congratulating his man in the center of the ring as your winner and new Patriot Heavyweight Champion, this man, Johnny Valentine. So congratulations to Valentine. Congratulations to Bruiser, Brody, and Jimmy Snuka, new Patriot Tag Team Champions. And congratulations, of course, to all of tonight's winners. Ed Strangler Lewis and Lou THESZ advance in the Filsinger Cup Tournament, along with Sergeant Slaughter and Jerry Lynn advancing, in the tag team of Jack and Jerry Briscoe advancing in Filsinger Cup action. So that is where we will wrap things up for tonight. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. Carl Zilla, Kamala, Mark Ferguson, Kathy Evans, Jay Randus, Neil Lau, Derek Bauman, James Lawrence, Neil Lau, and Bear805. Thank you one and all for tuning in tonight as we wrap things up here from the Dave Cave. Of course, tomorrow is Sunday. That means another episode of My Journey with Jesus will be broadcast tomorrow morning, the good Lord willing. So please tune into that if you are so inclined. Next week, I will probably not be on the channel. I may get on the channel Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be spending the weekend in Columbus, getting back late Saturday night. But potentially on Sunday, we will have action for you from the Dave Cave from Heartland Championship Wrestling. So until we meet again, thank you all for tuning in. That's our stream, and I am out of here.